suppose if I start at the beginning about Bolingbroke, what I love about this place is it's so beautiful. Countryside is lovely. Community is so welcoming. But most of all, this is a really fascinating place when it comes to heritage. It's really, really interesting. Probably, I would argue, one of the most important places in the county of Lincolnshire for its national impact.
People know Old Bolingbroke for its castle, and yet there's very little remaining of the castle. It was razed almost to the ground. This church is the only visible building that tells the story of the medieval period from the 14th century, and is important to tell the story of the castle as well, because families that built this lived in the castle and were major figures in English history, from John of Gaunt, Henry IV, may have been christened in his very font here. There were so many historical characters.
Back 10 years, there were serious signs of dilapidation to the building. There were conifers growing out the roof, stones falling off, beginning of leaks in the roof. It was really in need of care and attention, and fortunately people in the village saw the need for that.
The church certainly has changed dramatically since it was first built. It was smashed about by Cromwell's lot. And the Victorians, of course, rescued it from total dilapidation. And now, of course, we've got the mantle of carrying on that work, and what we see and what we do is only a moment in time.
There's sort of writings on the wall in terms of how it's used on a more daily basis. We have a lot of visitors, we have a lot of people wanting guided tours, talk about the history, to talk about the castle, and that's what we're focusing on here. And so if we can make a big difference by, first of all, ensuring the church is repaired to make sure that it's sustainable, that we fix the stonework, we repair the roof, which was leaking like a sieve on the north side, that we repair some of the woodwork inside, and we repair an awful lot of stonework.
Without the commitment of people from the village, these buildings would go redundant. This particular building is on the Heritage at Risk Register, and as such it elevated it in terms of being able to get a grant. But it's really the people who have committed themselves to putting in the grant applications, running the projects, that has made all the difference. You need people to be able to repair these churches, and the input of the local community has been invaluable.
Unless we do that, then we can't really move on to the next stage, which is the infrastructure. And there we're talking about electrics, heating, sound systems, all of those things. But they're for the longer term. First of all, we need to fix the church. And it would be unthinkable for a building like St Peter's and St Paul to close, fall down after 600 years, and it's so important that we maintain it. So many churches are in a pretty bad condition across the country, and we can't really lose this.
There are declining congregations and declining numbers of people willing and able to look after these wonderful historic churches. And that problem is addressed by different ways in different places. And Bolingbroke is one of the very best examples I know of that sort of community engagement with a church which otherwise wouldn't be able to support itself. And it's wonderful to see the way here that the community has come together to create a community of interest around the church and the castle and other community activities up and down the village. It's a model for us all, I think.
The church is very important to the community. It's central to the community in many ways. Generations of people from the village have been christened here, married here, and buried here. And generations come back from all over Lincolnshire and from around the world to visit. And the project, first of all, is enabling us to retain this valuable heritage asset. It's also enabling us to use the building as we go on for concerts, church services, and the odd pop-up pub. So it provides a real center point to the community.
It's important that there is still a sacred space within the village, I believe. Somewhere that people can come to. The stillness of a church just gives a calmness and a presence which I believe feeds everybody's soul. So that's bringing the village together physically as well in that history.
And ultimately, the church here could become a visitor centre, which is the indoor centre for interpreting the castle and for people to understand what's going on here. We already have buildings such as the old gas house, which is being restored, and we have a building known as the castle shed, which also has information in it now. And that is all part of telling this story, and that's what this project is about, to put those pieces of the jigsaw back together again, because that's how they were originally, I would say. It was church, castle and community.
From a personal point of view, as an architect and historian, although retired, it speaks of a history that I didn't grow up with, but my ancestors did. I've recently found that my ancestors came from here, giving me a personal connection to the building and tying my personal family history to a place that I just stumbled on and moved to by chance.
What we want is people to come here and enjoy the heritage and be immersed in the heritage, and that's what's really important, to have a good time and to learn about the heritage of Bolingbroke. But there's some other advantages to that for the local community, in that if people come and spend their money, it supports the local economy. So that's really important as well. I like to try and picture what it used to be like and what the people were like and what they were doing and what this place was like, you know, particularly in the medieval period and in the Civil War period. It fascinates me, and I just love it.
I love coming to churches. I just find them awe-inspiring, and you can see all the love and care that's been put into their design. This is a beautiful space to be in, and I just think making an effort to keep them going, which can make it the case that they go on to the future for future generations, is very important.
Whenever that is, that we get to the point of achieving full kitting out, if you like, then I guess it will feel really satisfying and hopefully being used in a way that benefits the whole village and benefits all the visitors who come here.
I'm sure when you walk around Bolingbroke in 10, 15 years' time, you'll be accompanied by many, many other people walking around Bolingbroke and enjoying it for the beautiful and tranquil and historic place it is.
We need to make sure that the amenity, which is enjoyed by so many people, so many outside people, not just the local community, is there for perpetuity, really. And it falls upon us to do our little bit to ensure that happens.